Hey, welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Don't go away. Our special guest, Kim Salinas with Arkansas Sign and Barricade, is a real friend of Second Chance Youth Ranch. We'll be right back with Kim. Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm your host, Perry Black, and on this show we have a very special friend of mine and the ranch, and someone that you know, and you probably don't even know that you know. But this is Kim Salinas. Kim, welcome to Second Chance Ranch TV.
Thanks for having me.
And we know this is an exciting day for you to be on television, and we're going to talk a little bit about you and your business. You and your husband own a business that people that are watching right now probably don't even realize they know your business. And a lot of people like to know our business, don't they?
Yeah.
But your business is Arkansas Sign and Barricade.
Yes.
And those of you that are watching right now, you say, well, how would I know that business? If you passed an orange barrel on the construction sites on the interstate, almost always those are yours. And you know, I always, when I'm going to visit my daughter in Texarkana and our family down there, I'll text you and say, hey, I see orange barrels.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, and I always go, cha-ching, because y'all, I think your business, part of it is renting the barricade barrels.
Yes.
To the state, I
To a
guess?
prime contractor who works for the state.
For the state, or the state highway department.
Right.
You also have a sister, I think, or two, but one of your sisters works at the highway department.
Yes.
And so.
And the other one works for me.
And oh, I forgot that.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about you. Where did you and, of course, your sisters, Kim and Shelly, where did y'all grow up?
Shelly and Vicky. And we grew up in Alexander. We moved here from Florida when I was young and moved to Alexander. And just a simple life growing up.
Now,
had a great
Alexander,
life.
Back in those days, when would that have been?
That's the original Alexander on over there, over there by Ranchette and all that stuff. Yeah.
Very country probably
yes,
back then.
Yeah.
You know, when I moved to Bryant in 1986, and you moved to Ranchette when?
When I was 5.
So that would have been
And
like
I'm
1900s.
22. That's right.
That was a long time ago.
That's right, yeah.
But Bryant was this quiet little community that I still to this day call Camelot, just about 3,800 to 4,000 people. So when you moved to Ranchette, Bryant must have been
So I went to Bryant all my life. Very small.
You and the sisters graduated
from Bryant.
Bryant High
So
School.
very small town. Yeah, very quiet. It's not the same. It's
And
big.
you also attend Family Church in Bryant, where I'm the pastor.
Yes.
And y'all been coming here since
28 years.
28 years, and the church is 31, so that brought y'all here about 1993 or 4?
Yeah. My son
And,
was 5.
So many of your family members, y'all filled up rows and rows and rows. Now, some of them have gone to be with the Lord, others have migrated around different places in the state, but y'all been a part of this ministry, and really the church was the seed of which the ranch became part of the fruit of one of our primary missions for years. So tell me a little bit about how did you, as a woman, and Mike, your husband, how did y'all get involved in Arkansas Sign and Barricade?
He actually worked for a competitor, and we moved up to Alma, Arkansas, and worked for our competitor for 7 years, and the Lord just kept speaking to his heart and just telling us that we need to do this on our own. We're scared to death to leave a guaranteed paycheck, great insurance. We jumped out in faith, and God aligned all the right people in our path to help us get started, gave us our first job, even signed for a line of credit to start getting the barrels, the signs, and all that. So tomorrow actually we'll celebrate 20 years of being open. But God has just taken it and just grown it to an unbelievable place. It's an incredible platform that we are so privileged to get to be on. And it's our ministry. You know, you think it's just striping roads or it's just traffic drums, but it's so much more than that. It gives us an avenue where we can touch lives, and even all of our employees that come in, they know that they can come to us for prayer. When you walk in, it's clear what our faith is. We make signs for a living, so we have it everywhere, and it's been a great blessing.
One of the signs that y'all made for us, it's about this big, and we might put an image on the screen. About, I don't know how many years ago, 7 or 8, 9 years ago?
Yeah, almost 10.
10 years ago, I called you and said, can you make us a sign? We have armed security on our campus right now, currently. I said, can you make us a sign? And y'all made a sign that I requested. It says, we have armed security. Anyone that wants to do harm to our children will be met with deadly force. And I put that up myself with a screwdriver, 2 of them, about 2:45 in the afternoon on our school and church campus. By the next morning at 8 o'clock, I'm getting emails as far away as the UK. I'm on the phone with Todd Starnes with Fox News. Then I'm on Fox and Friends because it was so, I think in a way, kind of ahead of its time. But David Muir came here from ABC, from New York, and interviewed us, and a program that never aired. But he said, why do you have those signs? And I said, well, because anyone that might want to harm anyone on our campus probably doesn't come to our church or attend our school. And the only way I know to notify them we have security is to put up these little simple signs. But those things went all over the world. And still, about every year, they'll pop up once or twice on somebody's social media post. But that's the kind of things y'all do. Y'all just did another one for me. I think it said no cell phone use on school campus, which is actually a state law.
Yes.
We're a private school, so it's a little bit different, but people, you know, they're picking up their kids, they're on their phones. So y'all make signs, you do graphic designs, banners. Y'all were very involved also on our scoreboard on our football field. That was a pretty big undertaking. Something that we'd never done before. Y'all hadn't either, but hey, we tackled that. It looks great. We've got a lot of signage and advertisers around our scoreboard. So anybody that needs signs, y'all do signs. You need barrels, barricades. We have visitor parking signs out here that we can tilt back and roll around. Y'all get those for us, or all those speed bumps in the road on the parking lot that people love, you know, that they want to drive around.
Right.
Y'all get those for us as well. So y'all actually see Arkansas Sign and Barricade not just as a profession, but also a profession of your faith.
That's right.
And a way of sharing your faith with other people.
That's right.
We got about 20 seconds here, so I don't want to get too involved in the next segment, but I do want to know more about how you came to faith. What was your childhood like? And we want to revisit again, how do you use your faith to change lives through your business? So we're going to take a brief break with Kim Salinas, and we'll be right back and talk more about Second Chance Ranch.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Our special guest, Kim Salinas with Arkansas Sign and Barricade. Now, some of you are probably watching And sometimes you wonder, why do we have all these different guests when this show is really about fostering, mentoring, and adopting? It's because it's guests and friends like Kim Salinas and her husband Mike and their company, Arkansas Sign and Barricade, that actually support the ministry that makes everything else possible. So we always want to showcase to our viewers our supporters and how did they get in the area, how they get in the business they're in, why do you support the ranch, why do you use your business as a platform to share your faith. So Kim, that's what I want to know, because I do know you so well, and a lot of times I interview guests I don't know hardly at all. But tell me, how did you come to faith? And how old were you? Where was it?
Okay, well, you know, young, our parents did not take us to church, the three of us. Yeah. We would catch the bus to a Baptist church down the street, but it wasn't life-changing by all means. Yeah. It was later, when I was in my 20s, that my mother-in-law started coming here, and we started coming. And that's where my true relationship with the Lord started.
And your mother-in-law still goes to church here.
She does.
All these years later, so she's been going here probably 30 years.
Yeah.
And she had some other children, maybe a brother?
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Your brother's name?
Well, her brother?
Yeah.
Well, Uncle Sonny.
Yeah.
But Aunt Joyce, Uncle Tommy.
Yeah.
Grandma Long, all those wonderful
Miss
people.
Hazel.
Yes.
So a lot of your family have been a part of this ministry. Mm-hmm. So you came to faith when you were in your 20s?
In my 20s, the relationship got real.
Tell me what happened.
Well, I believe just sitting under your word, and I learned how to get a real relationship. It was a real feeling. Yeah. And that's when my life just started to change. I started to hear him for the first time. I started to see the fruit, and I started to grow up, mature in the Lord here. So
as a child, you went to a Baptist church. Yeah. And then Mom, Kathy, started coming here. Mm-hmm. Stepdad?
No.
No. Mm-hmm. Manuel?
Yeah.
He came a few times.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
And as a result, you started coming. Mm-hmm. Was Kim? I keep saying Kim.
So then I came first.
No, you were first.
So I was first.
Yeah.
And then I believe Shelley came right after me, and then Vicky, and then their
Vicky,
kids.
Yeah, mm-hmm. and all that, and then their kids, and now grandkids.
Yeah.
And that's really the fruit of ministry. And because of that, I think probably because of the life change that you experienced from coming, sitting under the Word, that we preach without compromise. Right. Now we do preach a little bit of comedy.
Yes.
Which irritates some people.
Which is great for me.
I always say, I wanted to be a comedian, but I didn't want to tell anybody. I was afraid they'd laugh at me.
Keeps us paying attention.
Yeah, it kind of breaks up the monotony or whatever. But when you started receiving the Word, it actually began to impact your life.
Yeah.
And that's been a few years ago that y'all been coming here, and then you started the business.
Tomorrow will be our 20 years for the business.
20-year anniversary tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, happy anniversary.
Yay.
So tell me, how do you use your business, Arkansas Sign and Barricade? How do you use your business and your platform to minister, not just a way of making a living, but how do you use it to impact your employees and the community? Actually, in your case, the state.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Every day I have an opportunity to be a blessing to somebody. I'm constantly aware of my surroundings and looking for a way that I can represent Him in the flesh. Yeah. And employees will come to me and ask me to pray with them. What an honor that I get to do that. Yeah. I get to financially. I don't have a lot of service that like right now. I work a lot of hours. But I can give. So I try to do that. And I'm hoping later on that I can give more service, in blessing people. But right now, I get to just be a blessing, be a part of several things. And, for the ranch, for the church, it's down to the signs and the speed bumps. Yeah. I get to plant seed like that. So it's a blessing.
Yeah, and I've said many times, don't ever hesitate to charge us. Right. As the ministry for things that we're asking. Yes. And you're like, what?
How
I
dare
want to plant
you?
some seeds.
That's right.
But I never want to infringe on relationships, and certainly on church members where they feel like they have to do something. But
I get it.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, you and your team, and you see the fruit of giving. And I think our viewers on Victory Television Network know that this is a principle in the Word of God that is taught by many of the ministries on television. Given it shall be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over.
Yes.
And that actually works.
Oh, 100%.
Now, as a woman business owner, and we were talking off air, in a man's world, and you're really out here in the construction world. All this freeway construction, that's a lot of your equipment and barrels and digital signs and slow down. And all that, buckle up, click it or ticket. Do y'all have some of those? Some of those out here.
Yeah.
So when people drive by, what we're going to ask you to do when you drive by those barrels and when you drive by those signs, just say, keep your eyes open, but just say a quick prayer for ASB, because they are making an impact in the community and in the lives of young people, even in foster care at Second Chance Youth Ranch. And even though you've been a church member for decades, you've never been to Second Chance Youth Ranch.
I've been once. But
Oh,
it's
you
a
have
long
been
time
once.
ago.
And you're getting ready to go again, maybe the end of this very week.
I'm so excited.
And as you know, because you've been there before, once you step on the property, something supernatural happens in your heart.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, if you go out on a weekend, the kids are there, it's really something supernatural happens in your heart. But God's anointed that property, 300 acres, that's been dedicated to Him and to changing the lives in children in foster care. And we've got a couple of projects coming up. I have 2 sets of blueprints right now, one to be built on our campus right here in Bryant, another foster home, and I've got another set of plans to be built over on Smithers in Benton.
Okay.
And if we can get some lumber prices down, and now with Ukraine and all this going on there and prices and inflation, I've just been holding off, waiting on the Lord to give me the go-ahead, just like you do in your business. But we'd love to hear from you. This show is about fostering, mentoring, adopting, and how you, your church, your civic group, or your business can be involved like ASB and Kim and Mike. And we need to hear from you too. We'll be right back with Kim.
Foster care is good, but I really would really want a family I would be able to stay with. And, you know, when you think about it, it kind of gets confusing. My name is Joshua. I like to do arts and crafts. I like to make stuff. I figured out how to make my own mask. You can use a paper plate. So one thing is you cut around the edges and then you cut out some eyes for you to see it. And then you can draw designs and you color those designs in any way you want. And then all you need is a rubber band that's good and stretchy enough over your head, and then boom, you have a mask.
Have you thought about what you want to be when you grow up?
I haven't been thinking about it that much. I try to experience and see what I want right now instead of just quickly deciding, because then when I grow up, there are lots of jobs I could have. I like to go outside and play. I like to play football, except one thing is you gotta be careful because you could get hurt.
If you could wish for one thing in the world, what would you wish for?
The power to fly. Well, I could fly up and I could look around, and if I play volleyball, I would be able to jump. And, you know, if there was a big person, I would just be able to fly up a little bit and hit the ball. Basically, I like a nice family, like if they had children or something, but One thing is I'm a very active person. So sometimes like a family, like if they have kids that like to be active, to be able to just stay there permanently, like, you know, because in foster care there are a lot of stuff and you sometimes might have to get moved or for a certain reason. I like spending time with a family, and like if they go places, I like going places too.
Welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. You know, as you know, this show is designed to get you to know more about our guests, those that support Second Chance Youth Ranch, and to get you involved and engaged in mentoring, fostering, and adopting. And if you're a youth pastor or a pastor, a community leader, a civic leader, a leader of a civic organization, why not contact us right here at Second Chance Youth Ranch and schedule a visit. Come out and see us. Because I promise you, when you come on the property, meet our staff, meet our children, God will touch your heart and you will want to be involved. We're so thankful to be connected with other ministries like Project Zero and The Call, and other ministries like the Baptist Homes, the Methodist Homes, Compact, and other ministries changing lives through foster care. But why not get involved yourself? As you've already heard Kim share, when you plant a seed in good soil, it bears a harvest. Now, Kim, we have talked briefly in a previous segment about planting a seed. How have you seen God get involved at Arkansas Sign and Barricade, opening up unexpected doors and opportunities of business, not just your ministry through your profession? How have you seen God open up doors as you've supported God's work? Family Church in Bryant, Arkansas Christian Academy, and Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Yeah, like you said, it's just planting good seed, and we have done that for years. And because we have been faithful in doing that, we have seen this supernatural favor over our business, over our personal life. We get jobs that should not fall in our lap. We get phone calls that we shouldn't even get. And He just guides us, and just the business is what it is today simply because we have chosen to plant seed in good soil. Yeah. And it's a wonderful supernatural umbrella.
Yeah, and God's seed, God's word is a powerful seed, and it's going to produce.
Yes.
But good soil has a lot to do with how our financial seed produces.
That's right.
And Second Chance Youth Ranch is good soil.
That's right.
We're one of the few ministries in the state that's debt-free. I'm the founder, chief executive officer, probably got all kinds of other initials that people could give me. And I don't get compensated at all because I want everything to go to make a difference in the lives of children that are hurting.
Yes.
And I have other sources of income, you know, as a pastor, and then I have rental property and things like that. So I don't receive any compensation. I do compensate our staff. Hey, and we do have opportunities for you to become a foster parent, whether it's in your own home or if you want to come on our campus. We'll provide a home, a van, food, utilities, insurance, financial compensation, and we'll even give you a sibling group of 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And that's a great opportunity. We have a house that's available and it's open. And we do have a house that we're getting ready. I've got 2 sets of plans, one in Benton and one in Bryant. And if I can get the lumber prices down and concrete prices down a little bit, we'll get those started. My goal is to have both of those houses either in the latter stages of construction or finished by August, September of 2022. And so we'll be needing foster parents for those houses as well. So there's a lot of opportunities to get involved. I want you to take a moment and look at the camera here right over my shoulder and just share from your heart why a business owner or an executive or just one of our viewers, why should they be involved and how has it impacted your life and your business?
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, it's a wonderful opportunity to plant in wonderful soil, and I'm constantly I have obviously been here for 28 years. I know his heart, his passion for it. He literally does live it. I mean, you live what you preach. And I've proven over and over that you can't outgive God. And we're so blessed because of it. And it's a wonderful platform, a wonderful ministry. And God has just chosen us to be a part of this. And we're so blessed to get to give to the ranch, to the church. And we see it every day where our cup runneth over.
Yeah, and in previous segment, we talked about God talking to you. And sometimes you just know you need to make a decision. You know, the Bible says in James chapter 1, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask of God. He'll give it to you liberally.
Yes.
You actually see that happening in the day-to-day operation of your business.
Yes, there was a really big contract a couple of years ago that we were working hard with the estimator bidding it, and there was just a yuck right here. Yeah. So we prayed about it, and we knew we needed to walk away from that job. And let me tell you, God is so good. He protects us like that.
Yeah.
And we didn't get the job, thank God, and the job ended up being a nightmare for the competition, which I hate that.
Yeah, you hate that.
He protects us.
Well, you know, Second Chance Youth Ranch TV is on the air because we want people to know there are a lot of ministries in this state that are making a difference in foster care. As I may have said earlier, out on our digital sign here on I-30, just months ago, there were 349 children waiting for an adoptive family, and just in a matter of a few months, it dropped now down to around 275, 279. That means God's changing the hearts and lives and opportunities for kids waiting for a foster family. But you know, maybe you're not called to adopt or to be a foster person, a foster family, but what about mentoring? Our young people in our city, our state, and our nation, they are desperate for mentors, role models, people that just take a moment, take them out to lunch or play a game of basketball or something. And that's why this show's on the air, because I am convinced working together we can all do more than any of us can do alone. So let's connect. And if we connect, we can make a difference. How can we do that? Well, we can pray. We can give. And we'd be faithful over every dime and every penny that you sow. Used to have a lady, 83, send me $1 a month. And everything that we have is partially responsible for her dollar.
Yes.
Now, we couldn't build all these buildings for $1, but I'm pretty convinced that every million has $1 million in it. So it's possible. Your gift can make a difference. And let me tell you what else can change lives. Your prayers. Will you pray for all the ministries in our state that are working within the foster care system, giving children a second chance? Listen, we're so thankful that you watch us here on Victory Television Network, and we're glad that you got a chance to get to know Kim, and hopefully one day we'll introduce Mike, Arkansas Sign and Barricade. When you're driving down the road, say a prayer. Pray over their company because they support Second Chance Youth Ranch, and we look forward to hearing from you and know that God is listening to your prayers.